A very good evening to the Kobe Universiade Memorial Stadium. The evening session about to get underway. It's day 8 of the 2024 Para-Athletics World Championships. There were 7 medals in the morning session. There are 9 going in the evening session, 4 in the field, and there are 5 on the track. World records and championship records have been falling and tumbling by the plenty over the past few days. And they're sure to continue on tonight. At the end of the evening, we've got a little treat for you. Universal 4x100 metres relay final. I must say the 2 heats earlier today were very, very calm indeed. Normally there's a lot more that goes into it with disqualifications. Just the 1 in that one. We'll get into that a bit later. Still a bit warm. Conditions have been humid so far today, but pleasant at the same time. Good crowds in, very much enjoying it as we look back towards the main stand. And this is what we've got to look forward to. Men's shot put F57 getting us underway. Yasin Kasvari, the World and Asian Para Games champion. Zhang Li Min, World Paralympic and Asian champion. The women's discus throw F11. Then we also have the women's long jump T11. Men's 1500 metres T46. Christian Stoyanov, the world champion, up against the Paralympic champion Alexander Ermachuk. Heats of the women's 200 metres T12. Women's 200 metres T12 for 4 heats in that one. And then we look ahead to later on Dmitry Safronov, the Paralympic champion and world record holder in the men's 100 metres T35. The showdown between India and Sri Lanka in the men's javelin throw F46. That will be a belter. Hannah Cockcroft going for another gold medal, already won in the 100 metres T34. She goes for 800 this evening. And like I said, Universal 4x100 metres relay at the end of the night. Promises to be something to behold. Japan snuck into that, the defending champions, as they look to make it back-to-back Universal relays. Slight breeze, nothing too much to worry about. It was actually very lovely and pleasant in the morning session. There was nothing at all. 24 degrees today, a few clouds around, and hopefully those clouds make it a little bit warmer in the evenings. It can be a bit chilly here in Kobe. We're up in the hills. Just to emphasise the fact there. But there's the crowd who are in here. There's long jump getting underway very shortly, and everyone getting their positions for that, which promises to be very good. The women's long jump T11, complete visual impairment. If you've never seen a complete visual impairment long jump, you are in for a treat. And those who have come in to watch have been treated to some absolutely world-class para-athletics over the past few days. I'm Tolson Tollett. Will Downing is with us as well. Hello. And Steph Reed, the former world and European champion, is alongside me as well. It looks like it's going to be a cracking evening session, and I don't want to put the mockers on it, but surely we're going to see another world and championship record this evening. We've seen one in pretty much every single session.
Well, conditions certainly were amazing this morning, particularly for the women's long jump. But I'm with you. The thing I'm most excited about is that universal relay. I think at the moment, mixed gender relays are just so exciting for crowds. And at World Para Athletics, we take it one step further, and we like to mix up classifications as well.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure it's a mixed gender event. This is just the warm-up for the women's long jump T11 we've got going on here at the moment. We'll get you through the full field in a moment or two's time, but day 8, the evening session, it is session number 16 of 18, double sessions for all 9 days. Just on that universal relay, it's the vision impairment that go first, and then we work our way through the, we have the coordination impairment. Later on, we've got the wheelchair. We've got the amputee section. So it is a mixture of everything. 2 women, 2 men, in any order you want, as far as the male and female. But we'll get into it a little bit more later on as we look ahead to it. Seated shot put also happening. F57 final for that. Women's discus throw F11 getting underway as the women's long jump T11. So we've got a couple of complete visual impairment categories for the women in the long jump and the discus throw. It is all happening at the beginning of this opening session, and then when we get about 20 minutes into it, we'll have the men's 1500 metres T46 final. That will be very quick indeed. But it is the women's discus throw F11 getting set up there. So much to look forward to. And there will be a load to look forward to on day 9 as well. Every single event in that evening session will be a final for obvious reasons as we head towards the end of the championships. Looks hungry. Give me some.
Actually, it's the fan, isn't it, as well? Keeping them nice and cool, which kind of handy on a night like this.
We've got one of those books. Program from these championships. Hello, I can see you. See, I made a panic. It's great to see the youth who's been coming in. The youngsters have been coming in to watch this, as well as the more experienced viewers of para-athletics. We've had differing varieties of nationalities, ages, and abilities on the track as well, but it's great to see youngsters coming through. That's what I've been impressed with, actually. So many young ones, 16 and 17-year-olds making their championship bow, and that has given them loads of experience.
That has been fantastic. And as I've been reading through the stories, one of the things that I'm struck by, even David Blair yesterday, he won the World Championships, the number of para-athletes who got into the sport late simply because they had no idea, one, that there was para-athletics, or two, that they qualify for classification. And so I just love the fact that the next generation is going to grow up knowing all about para-sport and knowing that it's an option.
It's an option, all right. And for those who do take it up, it is a very solid option. Time now for the opening event and the presentation and the men's shot put F57 final.
Kicking us off this evening, we have a seated throw.
Representing Islamic Republic of Iran.
And athletes will be throwing in, well, they'll be introduced in reverse order.
Representing India.
No, that was not Yasin Khosravi. This man here, this is Yasin Khosravi. He is a world record holder.
Representing
He will be the one to beat in this one. Up next is Rana Soman, an army man who lost his leg in a mine blast in 2006, fourth at the last World Championships. Tiago Paulino dos Santos of Brazil. He has been a world champion. Finished second last year. Third at the Tokyo Paralympics. From Finland, Teijo Kupika. Now, he was a discus thrower, took an 18-year break from the sport and came back last year, winning a bronze medal.
Representing India.
Hakato Hatose Sima, the first ever Asian Games medalist from Nagaland.
Representing Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia, the youngster of this field, just 20, Hadir Salam. Personal best of 11:50. Ramunas Rojas from Lithuania. Also competes in the seated volleyball. Vitolio Kavakava of France. Finished 8th last year at his home world championships with a personal best. Samir Nabiev of Azerbaijan. 3-time Paralympian. Yorkim Bek Odilov. He was 4th in the javelin throw earlier this week, just off the podium. And already in the throwing circle, ready to go. Wataya Charoyang of Thailand making his World Championship debut. So 11 men in this field. They are all going to head back to the tent. Some will have a very long wait to throw, including Khosravi of Iran. In the seated throws, typically we will see the big throwers go last, ensuring they have the ability to respond to whatever happens in the competition. But he might not be up till about 7:30. You can just see there a red flag, and we see that sometimes in the seated throws. There are very strict rules around what the athletes can use in terms of equipment and also around technique. Now, if you feel like, wait a minute, I have seen a lot of shot put already this week. And the answer is yes, yes you have. Across all genders and all classifications, there are 29 shot put finals happening this week. It is the most popular field event in terms of we have the most finals for it. And the only event that tops it is the 100 meters, where we see 31 finals across all genders and classifications. So we had a foul for his first attempt. He's just adjusting himself there with the straps. You can see the way that the athletes and that flag has been raised once again. So he's now 2 fouls, 2 attempts, and you can just see there that Charying is adjusting the strapping. So the fouls happen if the buttocks of the athlete at any point lifts from that chair. So he's been given a bit of information about what's going wrong, and he's hoping that by strapping himself down to that chair will hopefully resolve the issue. Now, this is his World Champs debut. As you can imagine, possibly a bit of a stressful situation coming out and starting with 2 fouls, but he is handling himself very, very well. That one just before the 13-meter mark, but once again, another foul. Now he's just looking around. Often the coaches are lingering in the background, just looking for a little bit of information, a little bit of advice. What do I need to do to get a legal throw and get a mark on the board?
We should also say that these marks are actually taken just in case there is a protest afterwards. The athletes, sometimes they're given no marks for all 6, and then all of a sudden the marks come back in. We'll come back to that anyway, because he's going to have a bit of a rest now, is Vataya. But we'll head down to the women's discus throw, F11.
Excellent field in this, as always.
So Elena Shack is the first one to go. She's already been in action. Shack took silver in the European Championships in this event. Doblaskaya goes after Zhang. Zhang, the champion, coming into this. Doblaskaya of Lithuania. Isabella Campos, who was 6th in the shot put. Turkili of Turkey. Gold in the European Championships back in 2021. And the lady who took silver last year in Paris, Zhu Wei. Restrepo Munoz of Colombia, bronze medalist back in Tokyo in 2020. And Rosalie Torrefel of the Philippines rounds out the field. There are 8 going in it. Zhang Liangmin, the reigning champion, Paralympic champion, and Asian champion. So this is the complete visual impairment category. It will take a little bit longer. And like Steph was saying, for the seated throw we were just watching a moment or two ago with the shot put down the far end, the discus throw has gone in a few different categories as well. But that's the quirks of parasport. There are seated categories, ambulant categories, vision impaired categories, coordination impairment categories. It is all very, very different to what able-bodied sport is. So Elena Shack will be the first to go. Competing as a neutral para-athlete. 5th in the shot put just earlier this morning, so it's been a busy day. That one's out there around the 30-meter mark. There's been 3 athletes in this particular event that went in the morning session in the shot put. Shaq is one of them. Her lifetime best is 35.63, season best of 31.81, and that will be out somewhere around that, I suspect. 30.04, so she has managed to get over the 30-metre mark with her first up effort. Now, having 8 in this field, it means also that they will all get 6 attempts. So there won't be a split in the field after the first 3, and there won't be a cut, as it were. Because there is a field of 8, they will all have their 6 attempts through the competition. So there's a bit less pressure in your first 3, but you do not want to be throwing fouls in your first 3 anyway. So here is Zhang, reigning champion, Paralympic champion, Asian champion. She has the world record and the championship record. And that is out just short of the 35-metre mark by a good couple of metres. Now, her world record is 40.83. That was set in winning Paralympic gold back in Tokyo in 2021. And her championship record was set 13 years ago in Christchurch. So for Zhang, she gets underway with a 32.31. It's a season best for her. Busy old start, men's shot put at 57, getting underway. Down the opposite end, we have this women's long jump T11 coming up, as well as the women's discus throw F11, which we're watching now. So 3 events getting underway in the opening 12 minutes or so, and then we'll be hitting the track for the men's 1500 metres T46 final. That gets underway at 5:20 local time. So wherever you're joining us around the world, strap in and enjoy yourself. Now that will be the leading mark. It's just over the 35-metre line, you can see there. So that will be the leader from Lithuania. And also, I can tell you, it will be a new lifetime best. 33.48 for Dobrylskaya before this one. 34.11, it is a lifetime best, and it does put her into first position. So what a first up throw from the Lithuanian. 28 years of age, and she is in first position at present and thrown further. And the reigning champion and Paralympic champion, Isabella Campos. She was also in shot put action earlier, finishing 6th in that. Campos busy on this penultimate day of the championship, so it's a bit of a wait for her, and then all of a sudden it comes at once. Well, that will certainly be even further than the mark we just saw. To take the lead a moment ago from Dobrylskaya, Isabella Campos of Brazil. Her lifetime best set this year, 40.12 metres. Now, it won't be pushing up to that, but it'll still put her in first place. 36.56 for Campos, and she's a good 2.5 metres clear of second place at the present time. As we just pan back down away from the discus throw to the far end. Judges just getting themselves ready for the women's long jump T11 final, which is set to get underway in the coming minutes. The athletes in front of the main stand, you can see there, and they are ready to be introduced to the crowd.
And this is the start list for the long jump field. Now, it's a relatively small field, but it is very high class, as we have all of our medalists from last year's World Championships here. And as we came in, we saw the volunteers with their "Please be quiet" signs. They'll be working hard down the home straight.
Women's long jump, T11.
The athletes will be introduced in the order that they are jumping. And up first, we have Lorena Silva Spoladore of Brazil.
Representing Brazil.
Now get this, she has medaled in every World Championship she's been in since 2013 in either a sprint or a jump.
Representing
From Thailand, Janjira Paniatip. She was 9th in 2019 at those World Championships.
Representing People's Republic of China.
Zhu Guao. She's already finished 4th in the 100 meters.
Representing
Looking to get on the podium here.
Didaj Arjola.
Arjola Didaj. We've also seen her in action. She didn't get out of the 100-meter heats, but she was 6th here at the World Championships last year. And this here is our world record holder and reigning world champion, Asila Mirzayourova.
Takada Chiaki.
Finishing off the field, Takada Chiaki. 39-year-old finished 5th in Tokyo. Now, as I mentioned, when we were walking in, we met with some of the wonderful volunteers and marshals that are in the crowd with signs that say, "Be quiet." And it's not that they don't want to have the cheers and enjoy them, but this being a women's long jump T11 event, the women need to be able to hear the guide as they're calling. In the running events, we see that the athletes have a tether and they're attached with the guide, whereas in this event, the athlete is on their own on that runway, and the guide stands at the end and they call to them. So the women have to run in a straight line on their own. Now you can see there that they use a slightly different board than what we might normally see in long jump. Usually a takeoff board is 20 centimeters long, but for the visually impaired long jump, the board is a full meter long. And you can see that it's made of a chalk-like material. So the judges will see the athlete's imprint in that board, and they measure from wherever the athlete takes off. Kind of like what World Athletics is thinking about doing on the able-bodied side. All the good ideas start here. And that is a great start for Silva. Now, I didn't want to talk over the calling of the guide, just to give you a flavor of how they are able to maintain direction without being able to see it all. The T11 category is a category where they can't see anything. They have no visual cues. They are just listening to the call of the guide. And you can see there some smooth moves from that guide getting out of the way at just the last second.
It's a wonderful event, isn't it? The centers are so attuned in the hearing that's why we have to have the silence. And for someone to run at speed without being tethered to someone as they are in a race, and being able to hit the right spot and jump into the sandpit with no fear of what's going to happen is quite a skill.
I think everyone who watches this for the first time comes away with the same comment, and that was absolutely wild. And it is, and actually the best part about this event is it's one of those events where you can actually experience for yourself what it feels like. And I encourage everyone, don't just watch. Go and try it. Blindfold yourself in a room with not a lot of furniture and somewhere that's very, very safe. And that way you can fully appreciate just how difficult this is. And this is really interesting. Look at what the guide there is doing with her shoulders. And we sometimes don't realize how much we use our eyes for balance and proprioception. But the thing is, we actually have proprioceptive receptors in our joints. And by placing her arms and her shoulders in that way, he's helping to give her direction as she runs. Paniatip comes in with a lifetime best of 4 meters 44. And they happen to have picked the perfect soundtrack for this event. We've had some fantastic music, actually, in the stadium. Obviously, they can't have the music while the athletes are warming up or competing, but...
Good to see a bit of Van Halen.
Yeah, apparently, we've had some discussions this week across music tastes, and as it turns out, they're a little different. Although we both agreed on Gloria Estefan.
Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. Very good. Very
There's
good.
a street in Miami that is named after them because of their impact locally.
First attempt, 4:04.
And we've educated you on packed cash and tennis as well. So anyone who missed it, we were talking about Connie Tapia climbing into the stand yesterday and how it was relative to packed cash after he won Wimbledon in 1987.
It's not
Which
that
is
long ago.
No, which is why everyone does it now. Almost 40 years ago. 37 years. Goodness gracious.
Maybe that's why I didn't know about it.
Maybe. Well, you're only 48.
Zhu of China taking her first attempt. Now, am I right? She's also been very busy. We saw her this morning in the universal relay. So if she's going to be in the lineup again tonight, she's going to go straight from the long jump to warm up with her team.
Yeah, they can change that universal relay group as well. It doesn't have to be the same one as that went earlier. So that's to look forward to later on.
Now, Zhu has been very successful in the sprints. Multiple golds there, but her first global medal in the long jump wasn't until 2023 at the World Champs in Paris. I always think it's exciting when you see a sprint specialist branch out. They have an automatic advantage because speed is pretty handy on the runway, but it's not guaranteed. There are a lot of fantastic sprinters who are terrible long jumpers. Being able to convert flat speed to explosion at takeoff. Not all sprinters can do it. And they would argue not all long jumpers can start very well.
Tell you what, Ariola Deadeye has come out with something very flamboyant today.
Is that an owl? Is it an owl?
Some kind of wings, which may be apt for Ariola Deadeye.
Batman had wings as well.
World champ 2017. Loads of European medals.
Now, we just saw there, we could see the way that she was veering off to her right, and it's amazing that she flagged that herself, and she was able to correct. Now, sometimes what we see is an athlete does veer quite badly, and you will actually hear the guide abort the run, call off that run. If the athlete hasn't crossed over the board yet, and they still have time, because there is a clock that counts down, each athlete has a minute on the runway, they are allowed to go back and reset. And yes, that is a very fancy mask. One of the great things about T11 is that it's another way to express yourself in the fashion world.
National colours too, which I like. As 4:35, she goes into the bronze medal position. Well thought out, that. So we've got a big track final coming up to kick off this 16th session in Kobe at the Universiade Stadium. T46 this is. Single arm amputee category. Let's go through the field. The bronze medalist from last year's World Championships, Beshir Agubi.
Representing Algeria.
For Algeria, the 2013, 2015 and 2011 World Champion and the former Paralympic champion, Samir Nouaya. The reigning World Champion for Bulgaria, Hristan Stoyanov. For Ethiopia, Demetri Dinzia. The Paralympic champion. He's neutral, he's Alexander Yarmchuk. For Australia, silver in the last Worlds. Paralympic champion has been as well, Michael Roger. For Chile, the Pan Am champion 2019, Mauricio Orrego. For the Philippines, gold in the 8th of the Southeast Asian Games last year for King James Reyes. The Paralympic champion 2021 for Uganda, David Imong. For Kenya, Evans Ruto. For Denmark, 7th in the last Paralympic Games and 4th in the last Euros in 2021, Christian Olsen. And for Sri Lanka, a gold at the Asian Games last year. In this, for Pradeep Pawak Pitikande, 6th in the World Championships last year. So it is a brilliant field, a smashing field, the reigning world champion in this. Stoyanov, he's had a Paralympic silver as well. He's been a European champion. Paralympic champ Yarmchuk. So away they go. Agubi, Noaya, Stoyanov, Dinza, Yaremchuk, Roger, Orego, Reyes, Among, Ruto, Olsen, and Puak Pitikande. The 12 in this T46 1500 meters final. And Pradeep just beginning to shuffle over straight away, the Asian Games champion from last year for Sri Lanka. Many of them have won major championship medals, actually major championship titles in their time. King James Reyes of the Philippines, 6th in the Asian Para Games last year in Hangzhou. But gold in the 8th, silver in the 15 and the 5,000 at the Southeast Asian Games. And Michael Roger, who's been here before, he has medalled in 4 of the last 5 World Championships. He hits the front for Australia with 3 laps to go.
This race has gone off at a pretty decent pace in terms of it's at or around where a lot of the personal bests sit. And if you're curious as to how we're tracking them, within their bibs, they actually have, I guess, a transponder, you would call it, that correlates to them, which is why we get this fantastic information. As someone who loves numbers, I love seeing that. We're going to see a few 100-meter races later on, and it's different systems that you're dealing with. So in the 100 meters, it's high intensity and it's short burst, whereas the key for 1,500 meters is you want to be at the very top end of your aerobic capacity without getting into that lactic territory and making sure you have enough at the end for a big kick if you need it.
Well, Michael Roger certainly has stamina, originally from Adelaide in South Australia. He won the Marathon World title in 2019, which was run at the London Marathon. 2013 was the last time that it was staged as part of the Track World Championships when it was held in Lyon. Roger leading them away with 2 laps to go. Yaremchuk, the reigning Paralympic champion. He's also been in the biathlon and the cross country. The reigning European champion from 2021. He took gold as well in 2016 in Grosseto. But Roger taking control here. Stoyanov in 3rd place, the reigning world champion from last year and previous to that in Dubai. He's been European champion in his day, Paralympic silver medalist last time out in Tokyo. Breakaway of around 7. Roger, Yaremchuk, Stoyanov, Nu Iua of Algeria, Emong as well. He's worth keeping an eye on. Paralympic gold in his day as well, and Paralympic silver along with it. And he was world champion in 2017 in London in this. Dinza in 6th spot. But it's still Roger, happy to take them through, happy to lead for a long time. He's Stoyanov on his shoulder, Yaremchuk as well. It's Roger who takes the bell in front for Australia.
Now, we've seen a few 1,500 meters, and I have to say, we haven't seen many where the athlete that took it out has been the one that's finished. So often, someone has come from behind. And so many athletes, we see again the overtake, and if you have that speed, then you can just sit behind. This is where it gets dangerous in this final lap.
Yaremchuk hits the front, and Stoyanov up into 2nd place. Roger now in 3rd. Noah just behind him. Roger now playing catch-up. This might be where he wants to be. He took it all the way out, though. Yaremchuk turning in the lead. The Paralympic champion. Stoyanov, the world champion, in 2nd. Roger, the former world marathon champion, in 3rd. It's Yaremchuk with 50 to go, a little look behind, and the gaps are stretching. Yaremchuk, the Paralympic champion, takes it. Stoyanov in 2nd, and Roger gets the bronze. 3:48 smashes the championship record of Stoyanov set in Dubai. It's a European record for Stoyanov, but it is Yaremchuk who takes the championship record. Roger in 3rd, having led for most of that. Dinza in 4th. And Noyua in 5th position. Very, very good win for Alexander Yaremchuk. Twice European champion, 1-time Paralympic champion, and now he has a world title to add to his bronze from Dubai in 2019. Just waited and pounced. Championship record for him. Stoyanov gets the European record. Yaremchuk is technically European, but championship record is his. European record he might have to wait for. And Roger waited a long time in front. and then he was just nobbled with half a lap to go.
Well, I am glad that Roger was rewarded for all that hard work at the beginning. And it's curious, we've seen the strategy of going out hard a few times this week, and it's just not worked out. And I actually think psychologically there's something easier about being paced by someone else. And we keep seeing the same strategy, though. It's the athlete that sits into that pack, lets someone else do the work, and just comes out at the end with that speed. That's the advantage to having endurance plus that burst of speed.
Very good win for the neutral athlete, Alexander Yaremchuk. He adds the championship record, which had lasted 5 years. For Hristan Stoyanov. It's not far away, actually, only 2 seconds off Michael Roger's world record from Sydney in 2017.
Now, whilst that 1,500 meter was going on, we had a big jump from our world record holder. No surprise there. Mirza Yarova jumped a championship record, 5:18, to go into the lead. Now, that lady there, Mirza Yarova, so good. The president of Uzbekistan gave her a special award in 2021. And this is that jump that was going on during the 1,500 meters. Very nonchalant, almost like she was expecting it, and why wouldn't she? And looking at that technique, I'm always fascinated about how the coaches go about teaching that, because you can't teach it visually. You almost have to be really good at describing it to the athlete or moving their limbs kinematically through it.
Panya Tibbs, second attempt, red flag, 4:04 in the opening round. She's currently in 6th, but there's 6 in it. They'll all have 6 goes. But it's a leap into the unknown. It really, literally is. She was just a bit too far there.
You can see it is still possible to foul. If that foot is outside of the takeoff zone, you can see they can't quite see where her foot took off from. So that will be called a foul as it was. You're right, it is terrifying.
How do you teach that?
Well, I was thinking about it. I thought, what is a safe way? Maybe jumping into a foam pit or into a pool? We must find a coach, and we must ask them.
Women's 200 metres T12. Amara Duran holds the World and Championship record, but for one reason or another, she is not here. So she will not be going. There are 4 heats going in this. There will be 3 athletes and their guides going in the opening one. T12, medium visual impairment. European champion, you just saw there on the outside lane, Anna Kulinic-Sorokina. Simran of India and Namibia also represented, with Ipinjay, this 17-year-old who's made her championship debut this week. India have done well in these championships, especially in the track events. Now, we're so used to seeing them in the field events and the throwers, but they've been absolutely wonderful in the track events as well. Simran, Ipinjay and Kulinic-Sorokina. It is the first place that goes definitely through to the semi-finals. And then after that, it'll be the next 4 fastest that advance. So this is the first event we've had during these championships where we've actually gone through from the rounds to the semi-finals and to the final. There is a big field going in this, and you can only have a certain amount per race because the guides are needed as well. So they're just getting themselves set up, and then we'll get into position and we'll be away. India with 5 golds, 4 silvers and 3 bronze medals so far at these championships. They've done extremely well. They're sitting currently at 4th position on the medal table. This is not a medal event at this stage, but the business end, India may well be involved again. So first up, it's Anna Kulinic-Sorokina and her guide, Ilya Goncharov. She's the reigning European champion. She took bronze in Tokyo 2020. She's been involved in the javelin. If you recognise her name from these championships, she came 7th in that. Laya Pinjay, the 17-year-old who's been involved in 3 events now, also going in the 100 and the 400 metres. And Simran, her first major championship, she ran in the 100 heats on Wednesday.
Women's 200 meters T12.
There's that tether that has to be connected at all times when you run with the guide. And the guide also has to release the athlete to go across the line first at the finishing line.
On your marks.
So 2 lanes given in this event because you run with the guide. The guide will get the athlete sorted. Make sure everything's in place. Now the T11, you'll see athletes wearing masks. They're given gauze patches and they have to wear a mask to be sure it is 100% that nothing can be seen. T12 and T13 slightly different. This is the medium visual impairment. So we're ready to go.
Set.
Kulanit Sorokina in 7, Pinjay in 5, and Simran goes in lane 3. The first heat in the women's 200 metres T12. There are 4 in total. It is just the first place that goes through. The next 4 fastest will advance to the semi-finals. And Simran is looking very good indeed with her guide, Abnay Singh. They are going to qualify in first place. Just release her as she goes across the line. No issues there. Kulanit Sorokina, the European champion, takes 2nd. And Pinjay in 3rd place, the 17-year-old Namibian. But a very strong pace by Simran, 25.26 the time as she went across the line, and that is a season best for her as she qualifies. Kulanit Sorokina, season best 26.58 for her. Well, Simran showed a clean pair of heels.
That was a solid run from Simran. And you're right, we're starting to see more athletes from India, not just on the field, but on the track. And sometimes all it takes is that one athlete, and I think we all know who that athlete is, to inspire people. And in the same way that, for example, in Great Britain, people want to do football, now it's becoming athletics, the thing that everyone wants to do. I think they are going to be the nation to watch out for in the future in para-athletics.
It's wonderful to see as we head back to the women's discus throw F11.
Yeah, it's Restrepo, 3rd round. She's in 6th place, 32-31 at the moment. It is China 1 and 2 in this show, and Hui leading. 40-24 in the opening round. Zhang Liang Men in 2nd, 38-41. And Isabella Campos of Brazil 3rd, 36-84. Now she needs to rise an extra 4 meters in order to get into the medals. That won't be it, but it's still an improvement. 32.65 for her. So China 1 and 2. Restrepo had thrown out to 32.67 this season, so she's only 2 away from that. The Philippines, Rosalie Torrefiel, 19.37 in the 2nd round. Bronze in the Southeast Asian Games last year and gold in the javelin. Doesn't really look as if that's going to send her further up the rankings, but she does have her very good qualities in this, as we've seen. That's a regional level. Those Southeast Asian Games every 2 years, and then because of COVID, there went 5 years between them from 2017 to 2022. The 1946 are best so far, but she stays in 8th. We continue with the 2nd heat of the women's 200 metres T12. Medium visual impairment up to 5% vision. Shen Yakin in this, the Asian Games silver medalist last year, the former champion actually, going back a few years now, and she has a Paralympic relay gold to her name as well. But no medal here. She's come close to it. This is Sarah Aruko, who won bronze at the most recent Europeans at Bydgoszcz in 2021. Shen has finished 4th in 2 finals already this week, the 100 and the 400, and this in between. Guides are optional in this, but they are all opting for those guides. Manuela Jacinto has come into the sport in international terms in the last year or so. It's first Worlds. And for Sarah Aruko and the near side, it's her second. So that European bronze in Bydgoszcz. We'd have loved to have seen what crowds they've got there. They're a massive athletics nation. They have Diamond League meeting there these days. They've had quite a few editions of the European Team Championship. They tend to get really, really good crowds. I think it's in Chorsov they have that memorial competition every year. And they're getting 30 and 40,000 at it, so really would have loved to have seen what they'd have got in Bydgoszcz. The stadium had to be empty, unfortunately, because of circumstances at the time. Competition without Amara Duran. And as a result of that, it has majorly opened up the door for everyone else. Duran did not start in the 400, and it was very much last minute. The team said that a couple of minutes before going to the call room, she felt a little ill. There was no medical exemption or anything like that, so she was late then, basically registering. And then that's it, out for the rest of the competition. You pull out of one event, then you're pulled out of all of them. And she was denied the clean sweep through disqualification, the hat-trick at the Pan Ams last year in Santiago, which she had done 2 previous times, and which she's done in plenty of World and Paralympic Championships. So the reason there's a delay here is obviously because we've got the T11 long jump on as well, and we have efforts going in that. And now the introductions can begin. So there's only 3 in this. It's the winner and the next 4 fastest overall will go through to the semi-finals. So lane 7 for Portugal, bronze in the 100 meters in the 2021 Euros, Sarah Aruko, and her guide Ana Souza. In lane 5 for the Dominican Republic, celebrating their first ever gold at these championships ever. Silver in the 400 Pan Ams last year in Santiago, Manuela Jacinto and her guide Raylin Corraldo. And in lane 3 for China, 4th in the 100 and the 400 final here, the former Asian Games 400 meters champion, and gold in the 4x1 Rio, the Rio Paralympic Games, the 4x1 relay, gold to Shen Yakin and a guide Li Wen alongside.
On your marks.
So Shen in 3, Jacinto in 5, and Aruko in 7. And obviously a maximum in these races of 4 anyway, because you may have 8 on the track, including the guides. They've all won major championship medals in their time. It's quite something for Sarah Aruko, by the way. Fair play in having a female guide in Ana Souza. So she's obviously a quality runner in her own right. Shen 3, Jacinto 5, Aruko 7. Way the first time of asking. They've all gotten away very well. Shen on the inside. Now Jacinto's going very well. She's taken up this stagger on Sarah Aruko very well. It's Manuela Jacinto leads for the Dominican Republic, and now Shen fights back. And now Shen hits the front for China. So only the winner's definitely going through. It's very tight. It's Jacinto just making her way up in front. And Jacinto will take it. Shen in second, 26.35 the winning time. And Aruko taking it up in third. And that is by a good chunk, a lifetime best too for Manuela Jacinto. Presuming that it's all right on the night for the guides. That is her first ever big win on the world stage.
That was a fantastic run from Jacinto. And in this situation, in these heats, you have to run each round as though it's a final. But that wasn't the quickest that we've seen from Shen. And I'm just wondering, she's done the 100, she's done the 400, she's had to do 2 races already in that. And now to get to the final of the 200, that would be another 3 races. That must just be exhausting. And the amount of effort these women are having to put into, these athletes are having to put into the recovery, because otherwise it's a really tough championships to make it the whole way through.
Head back to the discus, the F11. That is Elena Shack. We have the T11 long jump going, which is complete visual impairment, and we have the F11 discus throw, also complete visual impairment. A foul with that one, so she's in 5th place. Xu and Wei lead it after the opening 3 rounds. Lifetime best set by Xu. And she's ahead of the reigning champion and Paralympic and Asian champion, her Chinese compatriot, Zhang Lingmin, who's a couple of meters further back. This there, Dobrovolskaya, who's in 5th position, 34.11. That the 35-meter marker, she's out near there. .11 for her first, 23.67 she went, then a foul. And that one there is better, 34.23. That does lift her up into 4th position, a couple of centimeters above Elena Shack, who you saw a moment or 2 ago. Lifetime best as well. Well, we're into the 4th round. There was only 8 that went in this one to start with. So they all get 6 attempts. And Xu and Wei, who was a silver medalist last year, currently in the lead. Campos, who's been in action today already, 6th in the shot put. She's currently in the bronze medal position with a 3rd round throw of 36.84. Still a couple of meters short of picking up a silver if she was to catch Zhang. And that's out around the 35-meter mark. It won't be better than what she's thrown already. It's under 35, so that 36.84 will remain her best attempt after 4. And we talked about India being well represented earlier. Brazil, as always, well represented as well. And we'll come back to that in a moment or 2, because we'll head back to the 3rd heat on the track in the women's 200 metres T12. Out in lane 7, it is Gara Fuentes of Spain, 20 years of age. First major championship.
Lane 5, representing Brazil.
Jaime Del Rio Ruiz, her guide. Lorraine Gomez de Agua needs no introduction. Silver already in the 100 and 400 and took bronze in the Pan American Games last year. Dalenas de la Cruz Severino of Dominican Republic. You may remember her winning the gold medal in the 100 meters at 23 years of age. So we have the gold and silver medalist in the 100 meters in the same heat, going in the 200.
On your
And a
marks.
20-year-old debutant out wide. So we had 3 in the opening heat, 3 in the second one, 3 in this, and 4 set to start in the final heat. Women's 200 metres T12. This one, heat number 3 of 4. first place automatically qualifying, and then the next 4 fastest across the 4 heats will go through to the semi-finals.
Set.
So they get away and really moving fast already in the middle there is Gomes de Agua of Brazil. Trying to keep pace and doing very well also is the gold medalist over 100, De La Cruz Severino. It's going to be a very closely fought contest, this one. De La Cruz is coming up on the inside. Is she going to get there and take it? At the moment, it looks like it's going to be Gomes de Agua. Gomes de Agua takes it. Just ahead of the Dominican Republic athlete De La Cruz, who beat her into second place in that 100 metres. 25:56 is the time that she goes across the line in for Gomes de Agua. So she qualifies automatically. De La Cruz will now have to wait to see if she goes through as one of those fastest qualifiers. But it was a reasonably fast race.
You see, again, you basically have to run a personal best just to get into that final. And one thing, it's interesting to see the different placements of the guides. If you have the guide on your outside, it can make it a little bit more difficult to run that bend. And for all those para-athletic nerds out there, I learned something new. There's been a rule change, and now if an athlete steps on the line on the inside, that's given a warning, not a disqualification, unless you do it twice, and you will carry it over to the next race. A full step into is still a full disqualification. But we are heading back to the women's long jump. Mirza Yarova has already got 2 jumps over the 5 meters. And that was some very, very quick reflexes from the coach there, just getting out of Mirza Yarova's way. To be fair, I wouldn't want to be in her way either as she comes charging down that runway. He cut that very fine, didn't he?
Yeah, third round effort there for the defending champion. She's the reigning Asian Games champion as well. Very good sprinter. Bronzes in the 2 and the 4 once upon a time. Everything over 5 meters so far. Well in control. Well, that one wasn't. 490. Silva in second, Zhao in third. Ayola Deadeye in 4th place, who has excelled in this before. 2017 in London. Already a bronze in the 100 meters for Lorena Silva Spoladore. Takada lying in 5th spot, 4:25. This her 3rd attempt.
Takada is coached by an Olympic long jumper, which can be pretty handy in this situation. Now that is a great example of a run that gets aborted. Now she still has some time.
It actually stopped at 51 seconds, that clock, which I'm pretty certain it wasn't supposed to. She didn't break any plane or anything like that, so she's okay. So they might just have to reset that. She's trying to block a lot out.
Now there will be volunteers and marshals around that area, just reminding the crowd that they need to be quiet. Obviously the tendency is that you want to cheer for the athlete, you want to get behind them. Some athletes will call for the clap. In this instance, you need silence, and unfortunately, that is a red flag. You could see visually there that foot extending past that takeoff zone. So at the moment, she has 1 legal jump from her first round, 4:25. And that is where things stand halfway through the T11 long jump final. The athletes will be reordered, with Mirza Yarova going last.
Well, there's confirmation of the opening heat in the women's 200 metres T12. A season best for Simran, who goes through. Season best for the 2nd and 3rd as well. Sulukina Korotic. Jacinto Santana a lifetime best qualifying for that second one. And in the third one, De La Cruz goes through with Gomez de Agua because of her time being so quick. She will definitely be guaranteed a place with 4 going in the last one. So only 3 extra can go through with her, and she's at least the 4th fastest.
We've got one more heat to go, and there are 4 in it, including the history-making 400 meters world champion, and she is the Asian Games champion in the 2. Hajar Safarzada Darajani, the first ever track gold medalist at a World Para Championships for Iran.
Women's 200 meters, T12, round 1, heat 4. Lane 7, representing Portugal.
So now in lane 7 for Portugal, 4th in the 400 meters of the Europeans in 2021, Marcia Arujo and her guide Vera Lopez. In lane 5 for Brazil, bronze in the 400 meters here for Catilia Teodoro and her guide Rodrigo Akanjo. In lane 3 for Iran, the first Iranian woman to win gold at the Paralympics Championships, and the first track woman to do the same. The Asian Games champion over to Hajar Safarzada Darajani, and in lane 1 for Moldova, it's Evelina Cristina Crețu,
Women's 200 meters,
semi-finalist in the 1 and the 4 at the Europeans in Big Ocean 2021. She has never reached a major championship final. Guides are optional. Teodoro and Arujo going with guides, Crețu and Safarzada Darajani going without. And remember, all of these athletes have a maximum of 5% vision only, stringently medically checked on a constant basis. That's why we've seen some athletes like Kashavali going from T13 to T12 for a while. And actually, Amara Duran started as a T13 when she came into the game, went to T12. Which meant obviously means the eyesight was getting worse over time. So only the winner definitely through, plus the next 4 fastest across the 4 heats. And you saw the targets there. So Crețu in 1, Safarzada Darajani 3, Teodoro Arujo. Away they go. Not anymore, they don't. Well, remember, it is minimal vision, and Crețu just being told to stop quite loudly. You can only imagine what 5% vision is like. Who went first? Might have been a shuffle on 7, I thought. Yeah. Arujo and Lopez de Castro. Maybe just a faulty start. There's probably perhaps a yellow card for interfering with the start. Certainly didn't look as if they were going out to a fly, and it's even better than that. It'll be a green card. So a green card shown to all the athletes. There's no worries there at all.
Restart.
On your marks.
$27.18 is the slowest time of the fastest losers so far. 26.53 the fastest. Crețu in 1, Safarzada Darajani in 3, Teodoro Arujo, and away we go again in this women's 200 meters T12 heat. And Safarzada Darajani is away strongly once more. Teodoro on her outside, but Safarzada Darajani doing so wonderfully for Iran, because remember, Iran have only started entering women in international competition in the past couple of years. She is well clear. It's going to be a nice win here. Teodoro in second, 25.77. That is 100th outside a lifetime best. And that's an official time now. Teodoro in second spot, I think will be okay. She's come up with 26.51, so she is definitely through Ketlia Teodoro. And a guide, Rodrigo Akanjo. But she's a joy to watch, I think.
She's an absolute powerhouse, and yet so elegant as she runs. And I have to admit, I got quite emotional watching Safarzadeh Gadarajani win that 400-meter title. It is history when she steps onto the track, not just because she's a woman, but because in a team that dominates in the throws, she is dominating on the track.
Well, back to the F11, and talking of dominating, there's one lady at the top of the board normally in this. In the T11, Mirziarova, the reigning champion. Takadi with her effort there. They're rocketing through this, by the way, because there's only 6 in it. So it's a very, very quick women's long jump T11 final.
Sometimes it almost ends up becoming an endurance event on top of everything else.
Well, 4:21 doesn't improve on her second jump, so Takada remains in 5th position. So men's 1500 metres T46, the final results of that.
Alexander Yaremchuk with the championship record, taking the gold medal in that. And well done, everyone else.
So Mirziarova at the top with that championship record, 5:18. Didai is waiting of Italy, season best, 4:48. She's in 4th position. You can see Zhu there just above her. There's 34 centimetres between them. And a wonderful mask also between them. Slight headwind you can see there as well. The windsock heading towards Didai, so... But she gets a legal jump in. Bronze medalist at the European Championships in 2021. She won gold in this in 2017.
I think the thing that most impresses me about the athletes in this event is the way that they know when the pit is coming. They know when to prepare for their landing, and just the amount of awareness you have to do that, know when the right moment is to kick up those heels. So much training and effort goes into that. And you also know that in the midst of doing that training, it's probably gone wrong a few times, and yet they still come back. They still trust their guides enough to carry on.
4:31 the mark given. Is there any counting of steps when it comes to it as well, or just going from the guide? There must be. If you get a count of steps correct, then you obviously are in a good position. Let's just round this up first.
Safarzadeh Gadarajani winning that, 25.77. She's through, and Ketlia Teodoro is through as well. Simran, the fastest for India, 25.26. Lorraine Gomez for Brazil. Darlene Estela Cruz as well for the Dominican Republic. They have 2 in the semi-finals, 1 extra round in that.
So we head back to the long jump now. There must be a certain amount of counting in steps as well, because that's going to be a very, very important way of measuring out how far you're going.
They will use the same steps every time they practice, but I've actually heard, and again, we can just see a run not going quite right. The best thing to do is to abort it. Now you can actually see there, the clock is stopping, so it looks like they're giving the athlete the chance to go back and reset themselves. As long as they haven't crossed the takeoff plane, they're fine. What I was going to say is I have actually heard a few guides. They're not just calling. Sometimes they're also counting and clapping and just giving a few cue markers as they go. Not that it makes it any easier.
Yeah, counting the steps, you're going to have to make sure that your stride pattern is lengthwise going to be consistent each time as well. But there is that area for moving because the board is so big. Yeah, that's a nice jump, that one, isn't it?
Well, that was worth starting over for. And it's interesting just to see that different communication that's taking place even on the runway. I used to count my strides when I would run down the runway. And interestingly, my coach told me not to do that. He said, this is getting very technical at the moment, but he said that by counting my strides, I am activating the logical or thinking part of my brain. And that was not a good thing to do. I should just go for it and just trust the runway. A little bit of sports psych insight for you there.
Yeah, so she's waiting for her 4th mark. She's going to be busy because if she runs later, she's in the Universal Relay Final, which is at the end of the evening.
Oksana Dobrovolskaya of Lithuania, women's discus throw. We're in the last round of this now, F11. 34-23 her best at her bid to try and get into the medals, but that's a lifetime best as well for her. So if she could have added an extra 2.5 meters onto it, which is asking really a ridiculous amount. She's had a great combination though. China 1 and 2, Zhuai Hui and Zhang Liangmin. I always think if you get a lifetime best, you can ask no more than that. 33.48 was a lifetime best going into it. She's added almost a meter to it. So, Isabella Campos, 36.84 in 3rd. She is a 40-12 thrower. That's a lifetime best. The lead is 40-24. Always depends on the day and the conditions and the mood and the fitness and the form. And sometimes the potluck. So 3rd round effort. She's had 2 no throws as well. 38.84 in 3rd. Jiang Ningmin 38.41 in 2nd position. That's gonna do nothing for her, I fear. So Campos gets the bronze as the big races continue.
Men's 100 metres T35 final. Dmitry Safronov goes in this one, the world record and Paralympic champion, world record holder.
Representing Hong Kong, China.
Bartoshek will go in lane 1. The 34-year-old is in there. And Bao of Hong Kong, 24 years of age in 3. Major championship debut. Datsviad, gold in the 200 metres, already here. 21-year-old, his first major championship.
Lane 5, representing Argentina.
Max Villa, 17 years of age, there is a real smattering of youth across these championships. Silver at the Parapan American Games last year. He was 4th here in the 200. Safronov, silver in the 200. European champion, Paralympic champion over 100 and 200. Artem Kalashian also representing as a neutral, bronze in the 200 metres. And Fogliaklidis of Greece, 23 years of age at his first major championships.
Final starts now.
So none of last year's medalists are in the field, but Dmitry Safronov, the world record holder, is Paralympic champion and European champion. He had to settle for silver over 200 metres. That's because another neutral to the right of screen there, the 21-year-old youngster, David Zayatev, claimed the gold medal. So there are 7 going. 17-year-old Argentine Villa. And Villa, it gets away quickest of all. He started very, very well, but Zatiev on the inside of him, but roaring down the outside. It is Artem Kalashian who's going to take it. Kalashian takes it in 11.71. Inside of him, it's Zayatev who's taken the 2nd position in silver, and I think Safronov might have picked up the bronze medal there. It's a neutral para-athlete, 1, 2, 3. 11.71 for Kalashian. There's been a fall from Safronov as he's gone over the line. 11.93 for Zayatev. So he'll add silver to his gold in the 200 metres. But it was a very fast start from Villa out the blocks, and Zayatev picked him up very quickly, but then down the outside was Kalashian, who was bronze in that 200 metres. The 100 metres, his pace He burnt everyone off by a couple of meters there. Zayatev on the inside. Safronov, the world record holder and Paralympic champion, has to take the bronze medal. So Kalashian wins, Zayatev in second, and Safronov, he takes the bronze medal to add to his silver in the 200 meters. Well, Safronov's done himself a mischief there. I think he might have pulled a quad muscle or something of the like. He's in a bit of trouble. You know, someone who is not in trouble is that person there. Women's discus throw F11 world champion, Zhu Enwei. And this is how it was done. Now, Zhu was a silver medalist last year, losing out to her compatriot Zhang Ling Min, but not this time. A quite wonderful throw of the discus in the F11. And that came in her opening throw. She didn't get a better mark than that. She didn't need to. 40.24, a lifetime best. And Zhang, the reigning champion and Paralympic and Asian champion, has had to settle for a silver medal. So an upset of sorts, but it is a China 1-2. There is Zhang, 38.62, a season best for the world and championship record holder. And Isabella Campos, who was sixth in the shot put earlier today, has claimed the bronze medal. 36.84 her throw. There were 3 fouls involved, but it was her third attempt which did it for her. She takes the bronze. So China's still at the top of the medal table, and they'll be adding to it with this. Another gold, another silver. Brazil also up there will be taking a bronze. As usual, what a championships it's been. They're heading for their 5th World Para-Athletics Championships in a row where they top the medal table. So this is the men's shot put F38. Results from that.
Yeah, Jose Lemos finishing top of the pile here. Championship debut for Algeria's Lazar Ziamni. He finished 5th in the javelin. This is his best attempt. Got that a nice distance, heading towards 15-meter line. 12.73, lifetime best to take second in this F38, which is the strongest of the coordination impairment categories. Already a gold in the javelin this week for Jose Lemos of Colombia. He won gold in the shot and the javelin last year in Paris. He's the Pan Am champion as well. Good long jumper in his day also. So Lemos winning this 17.10. Ziamni in second place, 12.73 with the lifetime best. As you were in the long jump, here's Takada. Her 5th attempt is on the way. 2 misses already, 4.25 her best in the opening round. Her 5th attempt going, Mirza Yurova leading the way for Uzbekistan, that championship record of 5.18. The defending champion, the reigning Asian Games champion. Bronze in the 2 and the 4 as well. A decent sprinter, which we've seen at continental level, but on a global basis, hasn't quite been able to get the breakthrough yet. Takada on the way, her 5th attempt.
We have a few excellent sprinters in this event. Interestingly, Mirza Yurova focuses on the 400 meters, not the 100, like the other athletes. Takada is coached by Kimiko Akita, an Olympic long jumper. 6 meters, 86 jumper. Competed in 2008 in Beijing. Nice to have someone like that in your corner.
Ooh, she was just going a bit wayward, and there's a bit of take there, which has caused a bit of trouble. That's obviously something she's had to deal with. She was just veering off course.
She was just veering off course, and again, the guy did exactly the right thing. There is no point in wasting an attempt. Much better to restart, take a deep breath, and go again. But I think this just really emphasizes how difficult it is to run in a straight line when you don't have any visual markers.
Just a quick note, by the way. Obviously, we have an Olympian as the guide here. We have an Olympian as the head of the championships, by the way, Kemi Masuda. She's very famous in Japan as her country's first female marathon runner, 1984. Takada going now, 5th attempt. That's solid. She met that well, and she's only about 25 centimeters off the medals right now. Prospects.
Men's 100 meters, T51, final.
Another final on the way. This is the T51.
Lane 3.
100 meters, and then lane
Portugal.
3 for
Master
Portugal. Bronze
Helder.
in the 400 at the Worlds in 2017 in London. Helder missed.
Lane 4, representing
In lane
Canada,
4 for Canada,
Cody
based in
Forney.
Toronto. 5th in the 100 last year, Cody Forney.
Lane 5.
And lane 5 for Belgium. Bronze
Lane
in the
5,
100 and the 200 at the Paralympic Games in Tokyo. Reigning 200 meters world champion from last year, Roger Habsch.
Lane 6.
In lane 6 for
representing
Algeria.
Barahal
Former world
Mohammed.
champion in the discus in 2013. Paralympic gold in London 2012 from Mohamed Beharal. And in lane 7 for Mexico, the former 100 meters world champion twice over, Edgar Navarro, who first medaled in 1998.
Starts now.
Forney, who's burst onto the scene after a good career in wheelchair rugby. Roger Habsch, a 200 title at the Worlds last year. So Mester in 3, Forney 4, Habsch 5, Beharal 6, Navarro in lane 7, the final of the men's 100 meters, T51. Way the first time of asking. So Habsch trying to get the better start. Forney of Canada, who's not won a major championship medal in wheelchair racing before. Habsch has overtaken him at halfway. Forney's doing well in second for Canada here. It's Roger Habsch for Belgium. Habsch will take the gold, Forney the silver, and Navarro just edging out Beharal for third. Roger Habsch does it again. It is his second world championship title, his third medal overall. Forney a lifetime best in second. A great result for him for Canada, and Navarro takes the bronze for Mexico. 20:82, the winning time, and Forney just got past Navarro, and Navarro edging out Beharal. A tight finish, but what a result for Cody Forney, originally from British Columbia. He's Toronto-based now. Roger Habsch, who won 2 bronzes in Tokyo after surviving his wheelchair ending up in bits before the race. Great start by Forney, but Habsch fought back. It's gold for Belgium.
What a start for Forney, and what a time to put down a lifetime best at a World Championships. And just a quick note, you will have seen the huge variety in gloves at the start. And this is a men's T51 category, which means that their arms and their hands are affected, which means that their grip is also affected, and the way that they interact with their push rims. And so to an extent, they have to be even more creative and find a way to punch those wheels that maximizes their power and their strength.
Yeah, Roger Habsch took the 200 world title in Paris last year. He is now the 100 meters world champion. Roger Habsch takes it 2082 for Belgium, the gold. Silver for Canada, Cody Forney, his first international championship medal, and Edgar Navarro takes the bronze for Mexico 26 years after his first world championship medal. Roger Habsch had found his chair vandalized 45 minutes before his final in Tokyo. That was one for the Thursday Motor Club. They put it back together and he got a medal. Silva Spoladori, Brazil, 5th attempt, long jump.
Silva Spalladori had a fantastic jump on her 4th attempt, just off the 5-meter mark. But really interesting, Zhu has passed her 5th attempt, and I wonder if this is because she's going to be competing in that relay later on. Silva Spalladori has medaled at every single World Championships since 2013 in either a sprint or a jump. You can hear the different choice of sound that each of the athletes go with. And there was no question about that jump, straight down the line. She is one of 3 jumpers in this field that has passed that 5-meter mark. Driving off that board, showing those heels to the camera. Just drifting off to the side, making sure she is not missing any centimeters.
She's already picked up her bronze in the 100 here. Good consistency in the marks. I mean, look at that. There's only 12 centimeters between all 5 attempts so far, and she's in the silver medal position. Significant lead for Mirza Yurova, the defending champion for Uzbekistan.
Representing Japan, Takahashi Shuya.
And if you can't make out the flag in the singlet, well, it's on the eyepiece as well. 5:18. Very good attempt in the opening round, then 5:10. You're hearing the introductions, by the way, for the men's javelin F46 right now. We'll be coming to that shortly. There's a big field of 12. Some massive names in that.
Men's javelin throw F46. Final starts now.
Mirza Yurova, silver in the long jump in Tokyo. Asian Games champion, also bronze in the 2 and the 4, having won bronze in the long jump in Jakarta in 2018. World Championship bow was in Dubai in 2019. She finished 7th in that, but she's really come up in the world since then. Her 5th attempt, and she leads.
Now that was a very interesting run-up. I thought for sure the guide is going to call her back, the way that she kind of curved around, and he had full confidence she was going to come back to the center. I mean, that almost resembled a high jump run-up to an extent with the curve. And that's fine. They are allowed to drift like that as long as they get back over to that board. That's a brilliant shot there. You can see how high her hips get up, just about clearing her coach, and he is not a small man.
She obviously diverted in hearing his voice, and then the spatial awareness saying, right, I'm not quite where I'm supposed to be. Well, she made her way across. It was slightly diagonal in takeoff. Might cost her a few centimeters. I think it will, actually. But obviously it's from the point of lift off to the point of landing.
Mirza Yurova was world champion last year. She came 2nd in Tokyo to the current world record holder, Silvânia Costa de Oliveira of Brazil. But Costa de Oliveira was not in Paris, and she's not here.
She'll have her targets for later in the summer. Definitely a real chance, perhaps, for her to express herself.
Bit of Madonna, yes, expressing herself and also saying don't settle for second best.
493. Well, it's consistent.
She's asking someone to take on me. At the moment, nobody can. Aha. We move along. There's the results of the men's 100 metres T35. Kalashian, by the way, he did break the record from Eos Fiatov in Dubai in 2019, but look down the bottom there, plus 2.2 metres per second means he doesn't get the championship record. He was 0.06 of a second faster, but he doesn't get it because of that win being more than plus 2.0.
We are heading towards the final round. Mirziova leading by 23 centimetres. Xiao further 13 back. Pansy above Thailand, her final go. 4:16, her top mark so far. And it's going to be 6th in the World Championship, which is going to be her best globally. Southeast Asian Games champion she is. Good title a year ago. And that was held in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. .444, a lifetime best. And that was quite close to it. We've got track action coming up. It is the women's 800 metres T34.
And it will be the last individual track final of the evening. We do have the universal relay to finish with. But individually, this will be the last of the evening. We've got 2 heats coming up as well in the men's 800 metres T54. But this is something to look forward to. Hannah Cockcroft, who's already won gold over the 100 metre distance here, the world and Paralympic champion, will go in this one in lane 6. A full field of 8. Everyone starts who's been named. And there is a false start of sorts.
Do you know something? Do you know something? That is the 3rd time, I would say in a row, that Takada's interrupted, and each time the clock has stopped with 51 seconds to go. Exactly. Exactly 51 seconds.
Maybe this is just part of her process.
Consistency.
Well, I think they'll still let her go while the women's 800 metres T34 will just wait for Takada, which I think is the right thing to do. Yeah, there is action going on out on the field as well, so we just have to wait for that noise to stop, which it has. And she's ready to go. We'll get you the result of that jump in a moment or two's time, but we'll head to the track now. Women's 800 metres T34 in lane 9. Sticking with the Japanese theme, Onodera Mo, bronze medalist in the 100 metres, also bronze last year in the Asian Para Games. The European champion, Fabian Andre, who was 4th in 2020 and last year goes in lane 8. Lan Han Yu, 16 years of age. She's the current Asian Para Games champion. She took silver in the 100. Hannah Cockcroft, gold in the 100. Gold in this event last year. 13 World Championship golds, including the 100 she's won here. Joyce Lefebvre disqualified in the 100, 5th last year in Paris in this one. Lu Pan Pan, 7th over the 100 metre distance here. She'll be hoping for a medal in this. And Yoshida Ayano, 17 years of age, 5th in the 100 metres. She goes in lane 3. And in 3rd for the Japanese athletes to go in this, Katara Haruka, who was 6th in the 100 metres, goes in lane 2.
Finals starts now.
So Fabien Andre, the European champion there in lane 8.
On your
Hannah
marks.
Cockcroft will go in lane 6, who's the world and Paralympic champion, already a gold medalist over the 100 metres here. So away they go, and they'll race through that first 100 or so metres as they move across then into the inside of the track. And as you would expect, it is Hannah Cockcroft who's got away quickest of all. 7 Paralympic golds to go with those 13 World Championship golds. There's a big mixture of youth and experience in this race as well. Yoshida, the 17-year-old Japanese, and Lan, 16 years of age as well in the field from China. Well, they head out, and Cockcroft already has a big gap of around 20 or so metres on the rest. It's Lan who's in second place. It's Fabien Andre of Great Britain who's currently in third position. Cockcroft comes into the straight for the first time. The next time she comes around here, she'll be into the final 100 metres. She'll come down and she'll take the bell. She holds the world record. She holds the championship record. The world record 1:44.43 set in Sharjah last year, and the championship record set just yesterday in Kobe. It's going to be a quick time, whichever way you look at it. But it is Cockcroft out in front, and it is Daylight in second. Lan, who currently sits in second position, the 16-year-old from China, she'd be more than happy, I suggest, to take a silver medal. And Fabien Andre, the European champion, is in third place, but she is being worked very hard at the moment from Lu Pan of China, who's come up on her back wheel. There's 200 metres to go for Hannah Cockcroft as she rolls around, make that 150 now. She's about to come into the home straight for the final time. Behind her, the race is on for second and third between Andre, Lan and Lu Pan, but it's going to be Hannah Cockcroft who's going to take the victory with 50 metres to go. We'll have a look at the time as she heads across. That championship record is 1:54.83. She has absolutely smashed that for a new championship record, 1:52.79. And it's going to be a China 2 and 3. Andre's going to miss out. It's Lu Pan and Lan Han Yu who have come across in second and third, but it's a championship record for Hannah Cockcroft out in front. The rest come across the line, but they are sailing some distance into the sunset as Hannah Cockcroft takes the acclaim, takes the plaudits. It's a new Asian record for Lan in second position, a lifetime best for Lu. The 16-year-old youngster sets a new Asian record for China. But what a race from Hannah Cockcroft. Smiles all round. 1:52.79. She only just set that championship record yesterday in qualifying, and she has smashed it yet again, taking a couple of seconds off that, more than 2 seconds off that mark. And Cockcroft again reigns supreme. Make that 14 World Championship golds now.
It's an interesting race, this. The T34 women, they don't ever race as a pack. It was basically a time trial. They were all strung out. Hannah was well off, and she definitely won that time trial. But I think what was really interesting was to watch Lu Pan of China. It was the only time I saw an athlete use the draft. She snuck into that draft for Andre around that backstretch, got a bit of a ride for about 300 meters, and then was able to sprint around Andre at the end. And so I was a bit gutted for Andre, but that's how that kind of strategic racing works. And it'll be interesting to see as this race develops. Both athletes from China still very young, and I think in a few years' time they are going to give Cockcroft, hopefully, more of a challenge.
Yeah, especially the 16-year-old who came in second position, Lan Q. Quite some effort that, setting a new Asian record, but Hannah Cockcroft again at the top of the pile. Talking at the top of the pile, Mercy Yarova with a championship record in the long jump pit. This the T11 category. There she is, sitting proudly at the top as we head rapidly towards the end of it.
As there's 3 left to go in this, and it is the top 3. Dedai going out to 4:25. Zhu has passed again, so she's taken a bronze, which means we've 2 to go. And Silva Spoladore of Brazil, who took bronze in the 1, it will be at least, at worst, silver here.
Once again, the stadium has gone completely silent for Silva Spoladore. So interesting to see the contrast between the cheers as the races are going and then the complete silence. The clock has started. She's down at 37 seconds. Just taking time, her time, to compose herself. This will be her final jump. She's at 495. At her best, she is a 5-meter jumper. Now this is interesting. You can see the clock stopped there at 4 seconds. She was very close to being timed out, but here's the thing. She's only going to have 4 seconds to start. She won't have time to wait. You can see that warning yellow light going. She is going to have to be much quicker on this attempt. The guide will be aware of that. He'll set her up. Then he'll go back, get himself set up, and then that clock is going to start again. Even the guide's getting a move on this time. Not to worry, it won't start until he's set. And the time has run out. The clock got down to 0, but you can hear cheers because she's won the silver medal. So nothing to be too sad about. She had a fantastic season's best in her 4th round, 4 meters 95, just 5 centimeters off her lifetime best. And she carries on her streak of medaling at every World Championships since 2013. She's already taken home bronze in the 100, and now it is a silver for Silva Spoladore in the long jump.
You sort of feel a little bit though, don't you, for Silva Spoladore? One more jump, you never know. Anything can happen. She looked happy though, picking up the silver medal, but, well, what about this lady? Isn't she some athlete? It's going to be a free ride here for her in her final jump. But she's going to retain that title yet again. Consecutive golds to add to that Asian para gold. She'll be looking ahead now to the Paralympics later in the year and improving on that silver she picked up last time. Here she goes on the final jump. Nothing the matter with that one either. So she'll have 6 legal jumps. Very consistent. Mirziyoyeva of Uzbekistan with another gold medal to her name. And isn't it going to be interesting when she heads to Paris? She picked up the gold there last year in the World. This time when she heads back, she'll be looking ahead to the Paralympics.
Look at those plyometric strides she takes there, just setting herself up for the jump. It's so hard to judge the jumps for the T11s because they don't have those markers. Found out yesterday they're removed for safety reasons because we can see sometimes that things get a little bit off course. That jump was much better, right down the line. Will it pass her first round effort of 5:18? 5:03 to finish off on. Once again, she is the world champion.
Into a headwind as well for that last jump, so there is our silver medalist, Silva Spoladore, and Zhu of China takes the bronze medal. Zhu was 4th in the 100 meters here, so she's gone one better and picked up a bronze this time. She was a bronze medalist as well back in Paris last year, so consecutive bronze medals for the Chinese woman. But championship record and consecutive gold medals for that lady here. Costa de Oliveira holds the Paralympic Championship gold. 9 centimetres was the difference back in 2020. She'll be hoping for redemption when she heads to Paris later in the year as we go back to the track. Round 1 men's 800 metres T54.
Yes, we've got 2 heats in this and 5 in it, including, at this stage, probably the greatest racer we've ever seen never to win a global gold. Saichin Kongen has won 26 medals here, and moments after he's seen his other half claim her 16th World Championship title, Nathan Maguire goes out in the track for Great Britain. Dai Young Kai as well, who's won a couple of silvers here in Kobe. Saichin Kongen, silver in the 5 last night, bronze in the 15. Nathan Maguire, the Commonwealth Games champion over 1,500 metres.
Men's 800, T54, round 1, heat 1.
So here's who's in it. 4th in the 100 metres final here, so close to the medals for Australia. And Luke Bailey, coached by Andrew Dawes, based in Wingham in New South Wales. In lane 7 for Great Britain, the Commonwealth Games gold, silver in the Paralympic Games, the Universal Relay in Tokyo, Nathan Maguire. In lane 6 for Thailand, 6-time silver medalist, 7 bronzes in the world, so Saichin Kongen. In lane 5 for China, silver in the 4 and the 1,500 metres here for Dai Young Kai. In lane 4 for Mauritius, who are having some games here. He's been in the 4 and the 1,500 metres here for Mauritius, Cedric Rave.
T54, round 1.
So it's the top 3 to go through, and the next 2 fastest.
On your marks.
So Rave, Dai, Kongen, Maguire and Bailey all off away well and quickly. Dai and Kongen particularly having already medals here this week. Silver in the 4 and the 15 for Dai Young Kai. Bronze in the 400 last year. 2 medals in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo when he picked up silver in the 8 and bronze in the 4. The man from Yeongchong. Bronze in the 400 in the Asian Games last year. It's always competitive. And Kongen taking up 2nd spot. Maguire just on his outside. And Cedric Rave just behind them. It's been some week for them. They've got some great wheelchair racers. Crash! Crash! Luke Bailey's gone! Good heavens! Was that Kongen as well? There's the bell. That's extraordinary. It's Dai out in front. I think it's Rave who's the other one who's gone. Well, that's amazing. It's Rave who's out and Bailey who's out, and they went on the turn there. Dai well out in front. Kongen in 2nd spot. And it's Nathan Maguire as well. So it's 3 to go through. They'll realise what's happened, surely. Well, maybe Dai won't, because you'll see in a few moments that the crash happened in lane 4. So Dai going past. Then it'll be Kongen, then it'll be Maguire, and Kongen will have a little look and think, gosh, I hope they don't have to rerun this. Dai is going to take the honours in it. Kongen in 2nd. And Maguire in 3rd. They don't really need to race much. 1:33.72 is the winning time. It's not far out. The 5-year-old championship record time of Daniel Romanchuk in Dubai. Dai winning that by 5 seconds. Well, the medical teams are out. That's really hard on Luke Bailey, who really got into the sport massively when he was introduced to the great Kurt Fearnley. And this is what happens there. Kongen and Bailey, the 2 involved, and Rave, should I say, and Bailey. Rave down heavily. They've had some week. National coach Jean-Marie Bugarate has been very heavily involved in the ascent to glory of Naomi Alphonse. That was happening right at the back of it. Who knows if there'll be a rerun?
Well, I think Reve, his wheel has just caught the inside and flicked him out towards Luke Bailey.
It's very unfortunate for both of them. No problems for Dai, obviously. Kongen and Maguire, they're all blameless. After that, who knows?
But you can see there, that is the benefit of being able to go out to the front of a race like this. You're out of danger. He has the speed, he has the confidence to do that. And when Maguire and Kongen noticed that, Maguire just tucked in, saved his energy, and we'll see what the final result comes up at.
Keep away from trouble. That's always the thing to do. We'll see. It was a horrible crash, particularly for Rave. Oh, Bailey just toppled over a little bit as well, but it was mainly Rave.
Well, I'd say the problem with Bailey is the shock of it, because it just came straight across without him getting any warning whatsoever, and all of a sudden, from going around the corner at full speed at the 100-metre mark, he was on the ground.
You consider the ascent that they have had, the amazing ascent that they've had in Mauritius. They're a nation of 1.25 million.
And talking of a nation of winners, Hannah Cockcroft, championship record, taking gold in the women's 800 metres T54. Lan and Lu, Asian record and lifetime best, respectively.
Yeah, a few wheelchair racers not here. Austin Smeek among them. Notice he's been off training in Portugal with his team and his coach, Anna Mull, Amanda Katoya, Catherine De Bruyne there as well.
Some fella called Hoog as well is not here.
All watching, I hope.
I'm sure they are. Men's 800 metres T54, the second of the heats to go. And there will be 6 to go in it. Well, an interesting one that we saw earlier. You can just imagine what they're all sort of saying to each other there, aren't you? Please stay away from hitting anyone and knocking it over.
Well, this is the danger. Sometimes you forget just how fast these chairs are going. So in a race like that, you're probably going to end up, depending on the strategy, but you're looking between 30 to 32 kilometers an hour, and to get taken out like that, especially when you're not expecting it, and you don't always have time to put your arms out to protect yourself, but equally, you kind of don't want to, because your arms are the thing that you need to do your sport. It's a really, really difficult situation, and it happens so quickly, you often don't have the time to save yourself. There's a very good reason why the athletes have to wear helmets.
You or I could be walking down the street and someone could come out of nowhere and knock us over, and you would still get the shock. And it's a similar type of thing, which has just happened a moment or two ago. Anyway, Arajehi, just saw him talking of possible reruns of races. He had to rerun the 5,000 metres, didn't he? Because he won it the first time. And then there he is. He won it again the second time. And I've seen a few races. I saw a T54 5,000 metres race in Doha going back years ago. And that race had to be rerun as well the next day because there was a crash, and it was the same winner who came out on top that time as well. These things happen. Sometimes there's racing incidents. It's just one of those things that happens when you're in wheelchair racing. It's not nice. Not nice in any sport when these type of things happen. Sometimes it's just unfortunate. Right, is the second heat, which is ready to go. As per the first one, it'll be the first 3 that go through, and the next 2 fastest will advance through to the final.
Men's 800 meters, T54, round 1, heat 2.
Out in lane 9.
Lane 9.
Ludwig Malta. He started in the original 5,000, didn't finish it though, and then wasn't there for the second one. 23 years of age, he's going in 4 events here. Hu Yang, he was 4th in this event last year in Paris. He's the Asian Paragames champion. Faisal Arajehi.
Representing Kuwait, Arajehi.
Made his debut back in 2015. He won gold in these championships over 5,000, silver last year in this one. Ma Zhou, 24 years of age, his first major championship.
Representing Thailand,
Pivatpong Sionglam of Thailand, 4th in the 1,500 metres at these championships. And Samuel Rizzo, senior debut at the 2018 Commonwealth Games, was also a wheelchair basketballer and pretty handy at that as well. World record, Marcel Hughes,
on your mark.
set last year in Arbonne in Switzerland, and Daniel Romanchuk has the championship record going back to November 2019 in Dubai. First 3 to go through, next 2 fastest will advance from there. So away we get. And moving out very fast is Hu Yang. 2 lanes in from the outside there. Started off in lane number 8. And Samuel Rizzo as well has worked very, very hard around that opening couple of 100 metres. But it's going to be Hu Yang who pops to the inside and then lets his fellow Chinese athlete Ma Yao, the 24-year-old at his first major championships, moves in to take the lead. So they're sitting in a nice little bunch at the moment. The Chinese, as you would expect, will work together. Ma and Hu, they may be teammates, but when it comes to in the final, they'll certainly be looking to win. But it is the first 3 that go through, and they'll both be doing their best to get through as they come past and take the bell. And sitting on the inside there is Sionglam of Thailand, who's just boxed in somewhat, but he's sitting in 3rd position. And at the back and looking to go around the outside, Ludwig Malta of Austria. But they're very, very tightly packed together at the moment. It's Ma who's in 1st position. Hu in 2nd. It's Sionglam sitting there on the inside in the blue top. You can see there with the black helmet on the inside lane, number 5 on his helmet. Sitting very nicely as well is Al Rajahi, who'd be buoyed by his 5,000 metres victory and be full of confidence. They're coming down to the home straight. It is only the first 3 that do go through automatically. And it's the 2 Chinese who are looking to go through, but it's not going to be 2 of them, it's going to be 1. And it's going to be Al Rajahi and Sionglam, who also get through there, along with Hu Yang. So Ma Zhao, despite doing a lot of the work, is in 4th position. He should go through, actually, with that time. 1:47.9 is the time, a season best for Hu Yang. Al Rajahi, 1:40.88 for him. And Sionglam goes through 1:40.99. So Ma going through in 4th place, and well, you could have thrown a blanket over them for most of that race until the last 100 metres or so. Ma does qualify, 1:41.08. Samuel Rizzo also going through.
You can just see at this beginning, Hu Yang gets out very fast. And then there was a very generous offering in terms of letting Ma go to the front and do the majority of the work. It was interesting to watch Al Rajahi. He was very happy to spend most of the time of that race in Lane 2. He probably did about 15 meters more than he needed to, but the benefit there is he's safe and he can come out on the outside in that back straight. And if the race does come down to a sprint like that, it's always nice to be on the outside and have a little bit of space.
Yeah, it was very interesting at the beginning there when that man there, Hu Yang, just let the youngster Ma Zhu go across and take the lead. I think he was confident in his own ability and was just trying to help his teammate through. In the end, Ma finished in 4th position. It didn't matter. He's gone through anyway. The only person in that one that didn't go through to the final is Ludwig Malta. So both 4th and 5th have gone through to the final. We'll bring you a full result of that in a moment or two's time. But continuing on at pace, the men's javelin throw, F46 with a championship record already.
Yeah, it's been trotting along well, and a lot of the big names from recent years are in this. In fact, all 8, the top 8 from last year's Asian Games are in this. So Dinesh Herath Mudi Yanasilage of Sri Lanka, the reigning Paralympic champion, former Asian Games gold. He leads. Brilliant throws from him so far in the competition. This is his 3rd. 64.59 is best. That a championship record, breaking the marker 9 years ago from Gu Chunliang. So in 2nd position is Guillermo Verona of Cuba. He's a bit hurt here. He is a bit hurt, the Sri Lankan. So he sends that out. It's not his throwing arm either. Just stumbles a bit. And then a little grimace. Then he just starts holding his left arm a little bit. That was still a 60-meter throw. Ajit Singh, the reigning world champion, is in 3rd for India. Rinku, who won silver last time, is in 4th for India. 60-60 for him there. This is Takahashi, who's currently in 8th. 56-23. This is 3rd round throw. He's heading towards that 55-meter mark. It's getting a bit cold here now as well. Takahashi finished 8th in last year's World Championships, so where he is now. 6th in the Asian Games last year. And he is in the cutoff point. I think he is safe, though. So Japan in 7th, 8th, and 9th. India 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Sri Lanka leading with Cuba in 2nd. And he just probably felt that could have been a little bit better. Verona finished 6th, by the way, in the javelin last year. He is currently in the silver medal position. Next up, Alicia Gabriel Benaventura, who finished 5th in Tokyo in the Paralympic Games, 7th last year in Paris. 56.92 is best so far. He's a 61 throw on his day. That's his lifetime best, which is obviously a one-off, and that's the best of the lot so far. That's just come short of the 60-meter line, but that is a really, really good throw. Excellently done.
I'll tell you what, the wind has picked up massively in the last couple of minutes as well.
That is 61.95. It's a lifetime best, and he's up to 4th. He's only 11 centimeters off the medals, and he's in between those 3 throwers from India. Akihiro Yamasaki, his 3rd round attempt. 56.79, he is in 7th. I think he is safe in getting all of his throws in. He was 6th in the Asian Games last year, the Asian Para Games. Actually, better than that. He was 5th in that and 5th in the World Championships. It's in between the 55 and 65 meter lines. That's his best yet. It will be a season's best too. And his reaction feels that could have been a little bit better. $57.48. And here comes Nathan Kemboy. He's in 10th, 52.50 is best. That will not match it. And he is out. Nam Kiwon of Korea is also out. Really beginning to get cold and quite windy, so it's time for the jackets now, I think, for everybody. And Kemboy, well, he's going to get his coat because he's out. He's 10th. Lifetime best, though. So a bit to be enthusiastic about, and already the Paris 2024 merchandise is there. Raivo Maxims. It's only his 2nd major championship. Everybody except Maxims is in this only. He's finished 12th in the shot. He was 10th in the javelin at the Stade Charlotte last year. That's going to dip, and that's going to be his last throw of the competition. So Shiramasa, Kemboy, Nam and Maxims, their time is up. So 47.03 man in his day. That wouldn't have been enough in its own to progress. That day, by the way, was this year.
No medical. Medical, no. Medical.
So here's our leader, Dinesh Priyanta Herath Mudi Yanis Talaga. Putting a lot into that. Brilliant throw. Just shy of the 65-meter line. And that will be the lead. Excellent throw from the reigning Paralympic champion. Twice a silver medalist in the World Championships, bronze in Paris last year. That's the lead, and that's a championship record of 64.59. Dai Yongkang winning the first heat of the men's 800 meters T54. He, Konjan and Maguire are through. Well, for now anyway, Bailey and Rave did not finish.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we hear a bit more about that. In the next heat, 5 of the 6 went through because of that crash. Hu, Rajihi, Singlam, Ma and Rizzo all through. So it looks like this. Ma and Rizzo the fastest lucky losers. Dai Yongkang is season best at the top of the pile there.
And this was how it all finished for the women's long jump T11. Reigning world champion Mirza Yarova once again. She did it with a championship record, but coming in the bronze medal position was Zhu Gruha of China. Now, interestingly, Zhu passed on her 4th and 5th attempt. Perhaps a strategic move, as we will be seeing her in the universal relay in about 20 minutes' time. Silva Spoladore of Brazil. She finished in 2nd place. You can see right down the center of the runway on that one.
Representing Czechia.
Flying through the air, kicking those heels up. She's already won a silver medal at the 100 meters at these championships. Sorry, she won a bronze medal at the 100 meters. The silver here, she's carried on her streak of winning in every world championship since 2013. But Mirza Yarova was a force to be reckoned with. This was on her very first attempt. 5 meters 18, a championship record. An athlete who's had the president of Uzbekistan give her a special award, a huge star in her country. She was cheered on by her teammates in the stands. 5 meters 18. She has defended her world championship, and she is ready for Paris. Gold for Uzbekistan, bronze for Brazil. So silver for Brazil and a bronze for China.
Well, the weather's starting to close in a little bit in the evening. The wind has really picked up in the last 10 minutes or so. We went from a pleasant, humid day, and all of a sudden, like a low pressure system has come in and calmed things down.
Herath is needing some medical attention. You saw on that 3rd throw, not his throwing arm, his right arm, but his left arm. Suddenly a twinge. Now he's needed a bit of treatment. There's a better look at it. Getting wrapped up at the moment. And the competition for the moment will continue without him. Here's Takahashi. We're into round 4. He's in 8th place for Japan, F46. Single arm amputee category. That'll bounce around 55. He's given that a really decent go, I have to say. It's quite something. Japan have won more medals than anyone else without a gold so far. They've got about 20 now. Loads of silvers, loads of bronzes. A lot of attention it's been getting here. It's been in the front page of the papers. Well, actually the back page, because that is the front page here. Japan 7, 8 and 9. Akihiro Yamazaki. Now he's lying in 7th spot, having been 5th in the Asian Games and the World Championships last year. 61 meters. This is lifetime best. Ooh, this looks maybe the best of the night for him. Possibly. It's gone beyond 55. Looking around the same area. Best of the night it is, 59.30 and 7 spots. I think I'm beginning to feel a few spots of rain as well. Javelin, by the way, great Finnish discipline down through the years. Finland have had it live on TV. The evening session every single day. YLE2, we give you greetings, but you've got your own commentary in Finnish. But good to have them on board again. And also, for those of you watching across South Africa and Africa, live every day on SuperSport, thank you for your company. Here's Gurjar, Sundar Singh Gurjar, currently lying in 7th. The reigning Asian Games champion, 2 in a row, bronze in the last Paralympic Games, and the world champion 2017-2019. And it is a bit of an off day for him. 2 red flags. He crossed the line there of his own volition. And it's not going according to plan for him.
Two fouls then for Gurjar. Always love seeing India in these throwing competitions.
I mean, we've got Rinku up next, but you think of Devendra, who's the twice champion, Rio 2016 and back in Athens in 04, and against silver in 2021. You've got the Olympics champion currently, Neeraj Chopra. And they've been doing very well across different disciplines here. They've become a great javelin nation. Rinku won silver last time a year ago. And hey, that is a brilliant throw. Now he's currently in 5th, but he is definitely, surely, getting among the medals there. 62.06 is bronze currently for Ajit Singh. And surely that's gone beyond.
Oh, it has to have gone.
It has. It has. Rinku, 62.77, and he goes into the silver medal position. And that is where he finished last year in Paris at the Stade Charletti. It's where he finished in the Asian Games as well in Hangzhou at the end of the year.
Bonaventura of Mexico. He's in 5th position. 63.30, that lifetime best. If he comes up with that, he will be up in the silver medal position. And that is pretty good. Such a small distance between. Well, you can go anywhere from 2nd down to 7th.
Well, do you know something? There's only 80 centimetres between 2nd and 5th right now. Doesn't improve for him, though, for Gabriel. Lifetime best as well, according to that.
Well, if decibels can help your throw, Gabriel would certainly be doing well there. But this wind, and it happens to be in the same direction that the men are throwing, and it has picked up significantly in the past 10 minutes.
Here is the world champion from last year, Ajit Singh. Bronze in 2019. 62.06 is best so far in 4th. He's only 8 centimetres off the medals. That is around the same range. Verona currently of Cuba is 3rd, 62.14.
Yeah, well, that breeze has picked up, and it is actually helping out at the present time. So you have been relegated when Rinku, also of India, threw his last one at 62.77. It meant Singh went from the bronze medal position down into 4th position. Has he got himself back up there? 62.11. He's just missed out by 3 centimetres. He's improved, but look at that. Verona Gonzalez. Season best for him. His lifetime best is 63.30. He releases. He likes it. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Don't think there's going to be any improvement there. It may actually be the least of his attempts so far. It has cooled dramatically. And that wind, it may be helping those athletes, but I can tell you higher up, it's actually swirling around. 59.45, it is the worst of his 4 attempts, but he stays in the bronze medal position. And here's our leader, Mudia Singala. There won't be an improvement there. 64.59 was much further out. You can see that flag, the white flag the judges are holding up. It actually was going across from left to right as they're throwing. So where we're sitting up in the stand, it's swirling around. The flags above the big screen look like it's going with the athletes and behind them. 59.55, by the way, for that 4th round throw. But at the moment, he's still way out in front, and these conditions might be hampering everyone else.
It's worth pointing out as well, despite all the medals he's won, despite the fact he's the reigning Paralympic champion right now, the former Asian Games champion, he has never been world champion. 2 silvers and a bronze previously. Takahashi, round 5, begins now. It's beyond 55. It's knocking around his best.
Well, Rinku, he won a gold in the Asian Youth Para Games, but if he won here, heading into his title defence at the Paralympics later in the year, well, wouldn't that be something?
.56.42. That is his best. Good consistency in those marks. This is Yamazaki.
Another good crowd in as well. I was just going to say, just behind there, there's loads of down that end tonight, which is great to see.
Yeah, 59.30 is best in round 6. Fifth in the Asian Games. That really doesn't look as if it's going to improve. And the centre of the javelin universe just seems to have moved to Asia quite a bit in the past few years. The emergence of India, Sri Lanka up there, that's a red. Japan have got a few good ones now. And obviously Kenya in para-athletics and world athletics, Olympics and Paralympics. A couple of misses from Gurjar. He's currently 7th, 59.03. For the reigning Asian Games champion and the twice world champion, and it's just not his night. It is not his night at all for a man who has had great times. 3 red flags.
It's a funny old sport, isn't it, the javelin? If you're in the groove, you're in the groove. If you're not, more so than some of the other events, then you are left to hang out and dry. There's a good shot of that pan across the javelin area. Seated shot put down below. We'll give you a full result on that a little bit later, but this is the main event so far. In the field, Rinku, 62.77.
He didn't make the Paralympic Games last time. 62.77. If he can find an extra 1.8 meters, it's possible. That looks around 60.
You can just see there how the javelin interacts with the air, and it has these vibrations. And we talk about events that like wind and events that don't, but as you say, when the wind is swirling like that, there's definitely a chance that it's actually not very helpful at the moment.
Yeah, 60.64, so no improvement there for Rinku. Bonaventura, who's in 5th position, trying to get the crowd behind him. He's got a lifetime best of 61.95.
And the thing about Ezer Gabriel, he won silver in the Pan Ams behind Guillermo Verona of Cuba last year in Santiago.
And that's not bad, is it? I think it's going to be there or thereabouts to what he's thrown so far. if there was a gold medal for the release and performance of that, he would win it every time. I think that's better than what he's thrown so far.
It's certainly close to it. If it's not, it's close to it. That 61.95 is a lifetime best for him. And just look at those marks between second and fifth. You could throw a blanket over them, an 80-centimetre blanket. Penultimate throw, Vijit Singh, currently in fourth, 62.11. He's only 3 centimetres off the medals. Has that changed it? It's tentative. Like, there's a lot of them right now who are throwing around the same mark. India trying to push for a couple of medals if they can. Cuba up there. Sri Lanka leading. Mexico up there as well. .62.11 last time. 60.59 now. Pan Am champ last year in Santiago, Guillermo Varona. He's 28 now. He's thrown 61.14 this year ahead of this competition and has beaten that 3 times. Lifetime best is 63.30. So third right now. Penultimate throw. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that is nice. And doesn't he know it? 62.14 in the second round. 62.77 is currently second spot. Varona's lifetime best, 63.30. He absolutely loves it. 63.32. Improves his lifetime best by 2 centimetres, and he goes into the silver medal position.
And I don't know if he is being mischievous then, pointing towards the Indian coaching staff.
Here's our leader, who just seems to have had a bit of power taken away, a little bit like Iron Man.
Well, it may have been a tricky camera angle that I picked up on, but Verona Gonzalez looked as though he was pointing straight towards the Indian coaching staff because he'd gone past Rinku into the silver medal position. Ajit Singh also there in fourth position. And perhaps he did.
Herath definitely. Dinesh Priyanta Herath. Muddy Yansalagi has certainly lost a bit of power there. 56.30. Dinesh Priyanta Herath. Muddy Yansalagi. I have happy memories of that Sri Lankan relay team once upon a time. Yeah, he's suffering. He's definitely suffering.
He reminds me of if you were in a running race and you were coming towards the end and you were just tightening up. A coordination impairment runner tightening up towards the end. That's what he's doing here in the javelin.
I mean, Verona is closing in, but that's a lifetime best. How much more can he get it out? And Gabriel, can dreams come true? Currently in fifth with a lifetime best.
He looks stiff, doesn't he?
He definitely doesn't look comfortable. And the thing is, it's very hot in these sessions during the morning, but it gets chillier and chillier as the evening progresses, and particularly tonight with the wind, we're seeing a lot of athletes getting their warm-ups on. But this is the thing, he knows that Verona is coming up really close to him, and he has to be in a position where he can respond if he needs to. Although I think at this point he'd much rather not.
It's just another really thrilling javelin competition. I mean, the home straight here, it's entertaining everybody. There's still the universal relay to come. Takahashi here had his best throw in round 5. This is his last. This is his best. No doubt about that. Whether it helps him up the rankings or not, he closes on a high.
Well, he's a 61-24 thrower.
He's done it. 59.81. And he will climb up to 6th place. Can definitely feel the wind now, I'll tell you. Just swirling round this great open bowl. You can tell from the vest of Akihiro Yamazaki as well. $59.30 in round 4. His last throw. Oh, that might be his best as well. That might just be beyond 60. And that's a lot closer to his lifetime best. Could it be that the 2 Japanese throwers left in this field have finished with their longest throws? Takahashi did. Yamazaki likewise 60-102. And he reclaims 6th position. That has been a lot of fun so far, and here's the event that's always a lot of fun. The Universal Relay. Across all disciplines, male and female. It is the ultimate relay. Visual impairment, arm impairment coordination, and then a wheelchair athlete to round off. 2 men, 2 women, whatever order you like. But the order of impairment is fixed. Hannah Cockcroft to round off again. Hu Yang for China. Janal Arapin for Indonesia. And Tomoki Akoma for the defending champions, Japan. We'll meet them all one by one. Four teams in the final. Great Britain, the People's Republic of China, Indonesia, and the champions, Japan. The United States disqualified from the semi-finals, and they were run out of it anyway. Didn't get a qualifying time. China set the championship record in the heats. Everybody wrapping up with a wheelchair athlete. China, Indonesia and Japan are wrapping up with male T54s, and Great Britain with one of the greatest wheelchair athletes of all time, T34 Hannah Cockcroft, the now 16-time world champion. Here's Elisa Gabriel. But is a medal out of reach? Had that brilliant lifetime best earlier, but with that, Gabriel is going nowhere. Finishes 5th.
Well, I suggest Herath at the top will be hoping that he doesn't have to pull something out of the bag. He's struggling somewhat. The man is in the lead from Sri Lanka. The man from Mexico hasn't come up with anything better, so he'll finish in 5th position with a lifetime best of 61.95. Here's Singh with his final attempt, 62.11, his best so far. That isn't going to improve on it. So Singh has relinquished that gold medal that he won in Paris last year. And he's going to finish out of the medals altogether. The joy just 10 months ago of picking up a gold, and all of a sudden the anguish of not getting a place. 60.04. So he does finish in 4th position. That means the medals are set as far as the 3 who are going to get one. Now we just have to wait and see in what order. Verena Gonzalez is currently of Cuba in 2nd. Oh, that's huge! That is an absolute monster!
What a throw!
Out near the 65-metre mark. 63.32 there. He'd thrown before. 64.59 is what Herath has. He hasn't, has he?
He must have done.
Surely not. With his last throw, the Cuban, whose lifetime best coming into it was 63.30. Oh, he's surely beaten it. He's out over 65. What's it going to be? We wait. We ponder. 65.16. Championship record for him. And he goes into 1st position. And Herath is going to have to come up with something special to get back up there. And he's not going to do it. So it's going to be at the last. The Cuban is in tears of joy on the ground with his final throw. Guillermo Verena Gonzalez, 65.16, is the gold medalist in Kobe 2024 with a championship record to boot.
That is just incredible, because he extended his lifetime best with the previous throw by 2 centimetres, and he had something left in the tank. He finished 4th last time.
Well, my oh my. There's nothing left in the tank, I don't think, for this. It's over to you. You have it.
Wow. Cuba has a javelin world champion, and we've got Universal Relay champions to be crowned here. So 4 in each team, visual impairment, arm, coordination and wheelchair, 2 men, 2 women, whatever order you like, for male or female. Great Britain are going man, man, woman, woman. China, woman, man, woman, man. So Japan here, they'll start with the T12, Oren Sawada, bronze in the long jump. They're going woman, woman, man, man. Then they'll pass over to Sai Tsuji, 7th in the 1, then to Takera Matsumoto, T36, 4th in the 1 and the 4, and their wheelchair racer, Tomoki Akuma, 7th in the 1. There were shock winners last time. Indonesia will start off with the 100 metres bronze medalist in the T12, Nimada Arianti Putri. Then they're going to the T47, Nanda Mai Shalai, who went out heats on the 1. Then to Saptiago Panomo, bronze in the 1 and the 2, and wrapping up with the Southeast Asian Games champion, Janelle Arapin, T54. Woman, woman, man, man then. China going woman, man, woman, man. Xiao Guha, bronze in the long jump here. Then to the T46, Wang Hao, bronze in the 1 and the long jump. He's T46. Then Wen Xiaoyan, gold in the long jump. She's a 37. And then to Hu Yang, gold in the 4, silver in the 1. Woman, man for China. And then for Great Britain, Zach Shaw, bronze in the 1 in the T12. Then it's to Karen Santos, 8th in the 100, T47. Then to Ali Smith, 7 in the 1, T38. And then to the now 16-time world champion, Hannah Comcroft, gold in the 1 and the 8. T34, man, man, woman, woman for Great Britain. I hope you paid attention. We're asking questions later. It's the final. It's the Universal Relay.
On your mark.
It's fast and furious. Great Britain in 1, China in 3, Indonesia 5, and the defending champions Japan in 7. You can hear the wind from the starter's microphone. It's really blown up here. So it'll be Zak Shaw for Great Britain, Zhao Guoha for China, Putri for Indonesia, Uran Sawada for Japan to start. And Japan were the survivors last year.
Set.
They're away the first time of asking. Shaw, the only one without a guide. It's a very good start. He's the only man, by the way, starting off, so he should lead here when he hands over to Kevin Santos. They're the only team to go man-man. Santos for Britain, Wang Hao for China, Nanda Shalai for Indonesia, Tsai Chu-ji for Japan. Britain will lead, Ali Smith. Now it's China, Wen Zhao-yan, Pranama Indonesia, Matsumoto for Japan. Heading over to Hannah Cockcroft, China leading, I think. Britain close behind. It's Hu Yang for China. It's China 1, Great Britain 2, the rest are well behind. It's going to be China today, the gold. Britain currently in second place. Japan moving up through Amoka. China taking, and in second place, Hannah's going to do it. Holds on, that is 16 golds and 2 silvers for her in a World Championship career. Japan couldn't reel her in. China take the gold. Great Britain in second, Japan third, Indonesia 4, unless, of course, something happened along the way. Did something happen along the way, I wonder?
Japan are going to be disqualified. I'm pretty sure that they missed the mark altogether at the change on the 200-metre mark.
Championship record for China, only 200s outside the world record. Indonesia are 4th for now, but they may be upgraded. 45.54, the winning time. They set the championship record in the heats of 45.66. The world record set at the Paralympic Games in Tokyo, USA, 45.52. And China came so close to it.
Well, Indonesia looked like they've been red-carded.
Well, this is extraordinary. Indonesia.
So it may well be Indonesia who are the ones who were disqualified.
Well, we'll wait and see.
It looked like Japan as well, though, so there might be 2 who are gone.
Right, there's a lot to take in here, so let's view it.
Well, you did say at the beginning it would be survival for this race. And the reason I love it so much is that you actually cannot call it until the very end. Now, just watch Indonesia's touch. That was perfect. See how the guide stretched out and they were able to gain about a meter there.
It's here.
It's here, Japan.
It's here.
Touch him. Oh, yeah. Now, what's that outside?
I think just about inside there. Just about. I thought the touch didn't happen, but the touch looked like it did happen. So they may all be okay.
And a touch then for Imoka as he went away. So a really good victory for China here. Hannah Cockcroft as a T34 woman, coordination impairment against 3 T54 men here. And she held on for silver, and for me that's a massive victory for her. 16-time world champion, remember.
Well, the red card that had come up against Indonesia has now been removed. So things have changed. I was worried about the Japanese turnover at the 200-metre mark, whether the touch had been made. I think the touch in the end, and the second attempt and time of asking, was made.
Well, they're going to do the photos anyway. Hannah looks a bit concerned, Hannah Cockcroft, trying to get everybody else from the rest of the field. If only like in horse racing, there was just a caller of winner all right, we would be certain then. Championship record for China.
We'd have a steward's inquiry afterwards anyway.
45.54 for China to take the gold. Great Britain, a very good silver.
You heard Hannah Cockcroft say then, oh my God, what an hour, because she won the 800 metres T34 earlier, about an hour ago, and then she's back out for this.
Well, yeah, we're just waiting for the full Chinese team to come around. They're somewhere elsewhere in the stadium. Oh my gosh. They put a huge amount into it. Well, I hope they'll be allowed through for the photos. That's the one thing that I've had a bugbear about, in that there've been a few officials, local officials, who've stopped who've kind of whisked athletes away very quickly. So it's not always had.
Overstudious.
Yes, yes. Just waiting for everyone to come here. This means lots of bottles of water and a bit of a wait for the complete group photo to come in. Japan with that bronze. They were the champions last year. Well, they were advanced thanks to disqualifications in the semi-final and further ones in the final, because Canada wouldn't had they not, and there was no touch over for the final athlete onto Austin Smeek. Everybody's going to get there eventually. It is really cold now.
Well, everybody's a winner, that's for sure. So
that's no lie. I mean, it's pure entertainment. The result for now stands.
Well, I'd actually be surprised if it doesn't. The only doubt I had was the turnover of the second to the third athlete at the 200-metre mark for Japan there. It looked like at the second time of asking, the touch had been made just inside the actual marker.
And China were the only team, by the way, to start with a T11 athlete, Zhao Guha, who won bronze in the long jump. She's had a really successful career.
Now, while all that excitement has been going on, we are about to come to the conclusion of the men's shot put F57. And the man in the throwing circle right now, Yasin Khosravi. He has waited a long time, 2.5 hours. And now everyone has to wait to see what the world record holder has, and already that looks good. At the moment, the lead is at 15:08, and that mark looked well over that 15-meter line. Now, as Khosravi was warming up, you could see him stretching all the way back, doing almost an ab workout, and then side to side, getting that core fully warmed up to power that shot. He's just waiting, looking around to see what that's going to come up at. $15.39. That takes him straight into the lead. This competition is over with the first throw. However, I am going to tell you a very interesting story about this man here, Thiago Paulino dos Santos. Now, in Tokyo, Paulino dos Santos thought he had won gold with his throw of 15 meters 10, but that throw was eventually ruled to be invalid, dropping him to third place. Now, I am not saying that's what's going to happen here. I'm just saying we need to see this out all the way to the end. Khosravi was, or is, the world record holder. His best mark going out to 16:01, and that one looked pretty close to that. 15:77. Khosravi is not stopping, even though he's already won. He's waited all evening for this, and he's not done yet. Getting the crowd behind him after all that excitement from the relay. And you can just see the other athletes in the background there. They already know the conclusion of this competition. Now they're admiring the technique and power of this man. Currently sitting, well, he will finish with the bronze medal. Teijo Kupika of Finland. Now, he's not in vision right now. We didn't get to see his throws. But he made his return to throwing after an 18-year break from the sport.
First event to go this evening.
That's Kupika right there. Fascinating story. He began his career as an able-bodied shot putter. Muscle disease ended that career. And last year, 2023 world champs, he found his way back. He picked up a bronze medal there. He's picked up a bronze medal here. This man already has the gold. The question now is, how far can he throw? We're at the halfway point for his attempts. As we know already, all athletes in the seated throws will take all 6 attempts at once, getting a short break after the first 3. That mark there also around the 15-meter mark. I don't think it's going to be beyond 15.77. World record, his own, standing at 16.01. Iran has had an absolutely incredible world champs. They sent 18 athletes. All of them throwers except for one. Already Iran has 12 medals, 11th on the table. This is number 13. Oh, that one. Again, his best mark so far, 15.77. That white marker on the field is the 15-meter mark. He already knows he's won. He's just throwing now to see if he can break that world record, which also happens to be the championship record. 15.83. He has improved on his season's best. That face tells me he wants a little bit more. This is it. Final event of the evening. Final throw from our world champion. Khosravi going for the added glory of his own world record. Oh, the crowd was clapping him on. Sadly, I don't think the wind helps very much in the shot put. 15.83. Has he improved on that mark? Celebrations have already begun because he is the world champion. 15.53. That won't be an improvement on his 5th round throw, but it doesn't matter. He is the world champion. He stormed onto the scene. 2023, shocking the field with a 16.01 world record. He's done it again. Paulino dos Santos, silver medal, 15.08. And Tejo Kupika, bronze last year, bronze here again. Amazing story about coming back after an 18-year absence. What a way to finish day 8 of these championships.
It was the event that started the session, and it's the event that finishes the session. Khosravi, the world champion, yet again. He's also the Asian champion. And I wonder what odds we might get for him being a Paralympic champion later in the year. They must be sick of the sight of him. Twice within 10 months. Twice he's got gold medals. And he had to show patience as well, waiting to the end. And his very first throw, he says, "I'll take that. Thanks for your time, lads." Retains his gold medal from the Stade Charlotte in July of last year. And
this was earlier women's discus F11, and China won 2 in this as it developed. Isabella Campos. 36.84, her best throw in this for the bronze medal. This coming in the third round. She stayed in the medals throughout. She was second actually for a long time, and then Zhang Liangmin pulled out a 37.5-meter throw in the fourth round. This is her last one of 38.62 to pick up the silver medal. Zhu Enhai was a 39-meter thrower before tonight. This her very first effort of the competition. In this F11, the only throw that went beyond 40 meters. New lifetime best. Very close to the championship record set by Zhang Liangmin in Christchurch in 2011. So China 1 and 2, Zhu Enhai takes the gold, Zhang Liangmin the silver, and Isabella Campos the bronze for Brazil. One more day to go. One more long, glorious day in Kirby at these Para-Athletics World Championships. But don't worry, we're doing it all again next year. And there's something on in Paris later this year as well you might want to watch.
Men's shot put, F57. Yassine Khosravi, the season best for him at the death. As we just saw, Paula dos Santos, season best for him in silver. And Kapika picking up that bronze medal with a season best for Finland. Season best and lifetime best. Now Choin, who was down the bottom of Thailand, he was first to go. No mark for him. That man there, though, almost took the cameraman out. He took everyone else out with the competition. Proud Iranian. He takes the gold medal. For the second year in a row. And what a Paralympic Games he must be looking forward to.
Well, the stadium is emptying quickly. Virtually everybody will be gone, apart from a few people who have to voice the highlights for the next hour.
We're up there somewhere. Those white seats across to the left of the screen, you can see that's us. Those boards across there. It's cold, I can tell you now.
See those three white lights? That's where we are.
In front.
Just try and block one of them for you.
He has. He's just blocked the middle one. There we go. There it is. He's blocked it.
It's like something from the famous Five.
That's
the Southern
us.
Television version. There you go. Karen Island and all that.
That's the SOS for get me out of here and leave him here.
Yes, it is.
Temperatures dipped, but it was a good session. It was hot on the track and the field. And if that doesn't get you going, then something like that will. That'll get the blood warmed up if you walk up the steps here, I can tell you. I'm sure they've had a thrilling evening. Just pointing out they can see Will Downing.
God help them.
Steph Reed has had a security. Most of the time she's been walking around. She's so popular. I've been able to do my own thing. Couldn't find a keyring, mine.
They're sold out. Most items here are sold out, I understand. We went to the shop earlier, and yeah, we went a few days too late, didn't we?
The question,
they had mugs as well.
Well, the question is, were they there to start with?
Yes, they were.
So there's confirmation of that men's shot put F57 seated category again. Khosravi season best gold. Paulino dos Santos has to settle for the silver at the death. And Kopika of Finland picking up a bronze medal in the shot put F57. Not something you would say very often. Maybe we'll say it more in the future. Here he is. Teo Kopika of Finland. Season best 14.74 for him. 14.80 was 6 centimetres off his lifetime best. He took bronze last year as well. He's made it 2 in a row. Diego Paulino dos Santos, he was looking good until the end. He thought he had the gold. It was a season best, but he had to settle for silver like last year. He won gold back in 2017 in London and 2019 in Dubai. He has to settle for silver for the second time as well, and he'll look to improve on his bronze from the last Paralympic Games later this year. So that was second, and it was Khosravi who took that gold medal. 15.83 for him. So a good 75 centimetres out in front. Too much for the Brazilian, and the Finn for the second time in a row at the championships, taking bronze. Season best for Nabiev. Lifetime best for Odilov. Season best for Rojas. And here is the man who won it. Yasin Khosravi. Season best, 15.83. He put plenty into it. That was his 5th attempt. He improved on an earlier effort of 15.77. That would have won it by itself. But hey, if he can go further, then do it. And he did. So just to confirm, the season best for Khosravi, Paulino dos Santos with the silver, and Kopika with the bronze. And if you haven't got it now, too bad.
Universal relay. Japan disqualified. Oh boy. China take it. Championship record 45.54. Great Britain the silver. Indonesia now of the bronze. And Japan, who won the gold last year, thanks to loads of disqualifications. Well, the old Klingon proverb, revenge is a dish best served cold.
And there they are.
Wow. That's life. That's the universal relay. And Indonesia are promoted to 3rd spot.
Well,
astonishing.
I thought I saw it down there at that 200-metre mark when the changeover came to the 3rd runner. Well, there's Paulino dos Santos, Kopika, and Yasin Khosravi. We've seen plenty of him in the past few minutes.
Don't worry, you're going to see some more of them now. Time to go downtown. A lovely day 8. It has been. Day 9. And the last full day of competition will follow tomorrow.
Until then, from me, Tolson Tollett, Will Downing and Steph Reed, sayonara.
Run it up.